Okay, welcome back to EMS Survival. Before we go too far, I'm going to show you how delicious this stew. Ooh, look at that. This salt pork and sauerkraut stew is. It is smelling great, let me tell you. It's been hard not to eat this. I haven't tried any of it yet. Did add a few things to it that I'm going to tell you about. First off, this zucchini and summer squash that I sliced up and dehydrated earlier in the year. I'm going to have to do another video, or do a video on that this coming summer, because this stuff is awesome. Handful of this, throw it into a super stew. It makes it great. I added a half a cup of buckwheat. Oh, just for scale, the old mayonnaise jar that I used was a quart mayonnaise jar, so that's about how much sauerkraut, and then probably about 4 cups of white wine, and that might help you figure it out. But that's the buckwheat that I ordered from Amazon. It really added, just from the smell of it, it added something to it. I did taste the broth, if you will, and I added about a teaspoon of dill. The leaves of the dill, not the seed. The seed's probably stronger, probably only need a 1/4 teaspoon of that. Clove of garlic, one of those bad boys that broke off of there. And I did add in a can of diced potatoes to try and absorb some of the salt, because yes, it was very salty. Unfortunately, after I added in this can of diced potatoes, I noticed this particular brand did add salt in, so when they canned it. The other brands I'm used to, they don't add salt to the canned potatoes, so we'll see how much it helped out. Other than that, if anybody wonders how much time I've actually spent in the outdoors, because I know I'm a little heavier now than I used to be, one of my old packs here, and since this is a woodsman's hunter's stew that I didn't have time to go outside for, I'm going to have to at least eat it out of a canteen cup. So you can probably tell by how much soot is on this canteen cup, and I love this little stand for it. I had a little stand stove attachment that had a bottom. It was like a U-shaped, and not only was it really tough to get in and out of the canteen cover, but it just made a lot of a mess, and it was much more difficult to deal with, and it was a little heavier. But you can see the patina on this. Hopefully it will focus. The patina on this is decades old. This is years and years of soot and sooty campfires, and then being scrubbed clean-ish, and you can even see the scorch marks on the inside where I usually have the water level at. So yeah, I've been around the hiking trail a few times, so we're gonna have to try this and see where we're at with flavor. The brine was definitely salty when I tried it earlier. And I usually just bring whatever for a halfway heavy duty disposable plasticware. So let me see. Nice chunk of carrot. You can probably see some of the buckwheat, the little white things all over buckwheat, and you have the leaves of the homemade sauerkraut, and oh, there's a chunk of potato. Oh, it looks like I put some mustard seed in with the sauerkraut when I made it too. And here's one of those, just so you know what it looks like if you make it yourself. Here's one of the rehydrated slices of zucchini. So, for comparison, it kind of look like little noodles. Alright, so the salt pork, sauerkraut, buckwheat soup. That is really good. The buckwheat adds its own unique flavor. If anybody is wondering anybody watches Survival Russia and you wonder about the buckwheat that he uses, and you feel like maybe you should order some on Amazon, go ahead and do it. Don't get ripped off by any means. I found this stuff, I think it was like $10, $13 for that, maybe less, I don't really remember. But that is truly epically delicious. That and the potato definitely helped absorb the saltiness. I think if you doubled up on the buckwheat. Oh, when I added the buckwheat, I did add a little bit more liquid, only about 3/4 of a cup of water more, and there's a good amount of broth still. Has a nice rich pork flavor. It has that hint of the buckwheat. You get the hit of the sauerkraut and the few pickles that I threw in. Not sure where that olive got to actually. I love the pickled olives and with the mixed pickled vegetables, but that really helped out. And yeah, it has turned out really well. I'm sure this is much more healthy than going to Burger King and ordering a burger. With all the cabbage and the carrots and the celery actually did cook down quite a bit. And even with the richness of the fat, the sweetness of wine and the sourness of the pickled ingredients, it really blends well. It's quite nice. I think I did add a few twists of black pepper to it. I would add some more black pepper, maybe some more cayenne pepper just to bring the heat up, a little bit of mace. Yeah, other than that, excellent. Other things you could add in as much pork as you wanted, any other kind of meat. I would say mushrooms would be a definite flavorful addition to this. And other than that, you know, just about anything you catch out in the wild that you get in your hunting pack, you could probably just process and toss in, and you'd be good to go with this Woodsman Special Stew. So, hope you all go out and are inspired to make up your own new recipe, try your own new thing, whether you do it in the outdoors or you bring a little bit of the indoors with you inside. Go out and just have a good time. Enjoy yourselves. Stay happy, healthy, and well.